Well, welcome, gentlemen. It's your boy Wings of Redemption, and I'm bringing you a pretty cool gameplay I got today. I was playing with my buddy Darth Carpet. I decided to hop on the PS3 today and play a little bit before my doctor's appointment, and I got a really good game. Well, at least a really good game in my standards. But I want to talk about this sickness that I recently got, or this infection that I got, really changed my perspective on a lot of things in life. Um, it made me realize that the things that I thought were important weren't actually important because I had to start questioning myself in certain departments. And like some of the things that were really important to me all of a sudden became less important to me. Me a week ago would have told you that financial security and money is the most important thing you can have. And the reason behind that would be mainly because it reduces stress. I hate stress, and I have this OCD borderline level fear of failure. I hate letting people down. I do. I'm the kind of guy that if I tell you I can do something and I can't do it, I beat myself up. I do. I beat myself up over and over and over again because I felt like I've let you down. And that kind of stuff bothers me. But coming across material things has kind of gotten into the way of actual life. And like, well, let me just kind of explain it in a slower, more detailed way. The situation with the boil. For most people have seen in the comments section, my channel's not doing as well as it used to do, and that's from a bunch of different factors. The main one is YouTube changing an algorithm, and pretty much I don't get as many not residual views, long tail views. So the lack of long tail views and stuff like that, just to changing and adapting to the times. But so it's kind of put a little strain on the finances, but I'm still getting along. And when I got the sore, instead of going to a doctor immediately, I tried to fix it myself because that was the cheaper alternative. And what was a small problem turned into a big problem really quickly. And I got me thinking to the point where, hopefully you guys are still with me, I got me thinking to the point where what good is money and what good is credit if you're not alive to use it? But my perspective on credit has changed dramatically as well over the years. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And it got me thinking, like, well, if I go to the doctor, I could go broke. But if I don't go to the doctor, I could die. Because at this point, I didn't know what I had. I knew I had a sore. I knew it was red. And generally red means infection. And it was getting to the point it was fire engine red. Coca-Cola red. It hurt. It did. It's I think the only way it could hurt worse was if it was in my penis or something like that. That's the only way I could feel like it would hurt worse. The spot I got it in, the area of affection that got it, I mean, it was literally the size of 2 or 3 golf balls worth of infection underneath my skin. It was just hard as a rock. I showed pictures of it on Twitter. If you scale back far enough, you'll see it. I don't really want to put them on this video itself, mainly because the boil video, which you can actually see too. I can link the boil video to you. It is 18 plus, so be warned. It's not going to be a pretty sight. It was really bad. It hurt. It hurt to walk. The pores on the pores themselves of my actual skin were so sore and inflated. You could see everywhere hair could grow out because that's the only thing that was actually holding itself down. Very gruesome stuff. But it got me thinking, like, I had to sit a joke of, like, do I try to save money or do I try to save my life? And it made me treasure more things lately. Like, I know a lot of people got a surprise, but while I was sitting here not being able to basically walk, I decided to start reading in my inbox. I decided to start tackling the 82,000 messages I have in my inbox. And like, hell, I'll show you a screenshot of it. You know, it's not the best picture in the world, but you know, I kind of exaggerate. It was 15,200. But I started doing that. I was like, you know, these people took the time to write me a message. I should take the time out of my day and go ahead and try to respond to the ones that are I can respond to. I mean, some people write stuff to me that are beyond silly, but you know, I'm gonna try to respond more. I can't promise, but I'm going to try to respond more. I'll try to interact more too. I mean, because I'm kind of missing the whole point of YouTube, and like, and I understand the point of YouTube. I do. Like, the point of YouTube is to interact and have fun and share things that you are passionate about, and I kind of lost track of that years ago, went and tried to almost, you know, principalize the dollar. The dollar was paramount. You know, everything you did was based off time versus time versus how much money you can make. Or how whatever you did was like, well, if I had to spend $60 to make this video, I needed to make $80. You know, you looked at everything like that in ergonomics, and you know, it works for businesses. Like when you run a fast food joint, you got to have food versus labor. You got to have that. That's keys to a successful business. But I don't think that's the key to a successful YouTube channel. It might be, but I'm not very good at it. That's why I started doing things like the Final Fantasy VII series, and you know, just sharing stuff that I'm good at. I mean, people have been asking me to do a blind Let's Play of Dark Souls. I might attempt that now. I'm not trying to say I'm changing, but I'm trying to say I understand that things aren't as bad as I make them out to be sometimes. Because the real true gift you have in life is life itself. And, you know, this infection thing, I mean, it could have got real serious real quick. I mean, like, it was MRSA. That's what it was. You know, some people are like, oh, you only can get that from hospitals. Like, no, it's a strain of staph, and like, MRSA is something that you don't really mess with. It's something that will kill you and kill you quick. That's why after only 3 days, it had pretty much taken over my entire lower stomach. It was growing bad, and it was growing fast. It was growing, I mean, it surprised doctors. And it's humbling. It is. Medical problems humble you. And I feel like I felt like I was in this zone in my life where I felt entitled, and feeling entitled and being entitled are two different things. And you know, it makes you slow down and just take it a little bit more easy and enjoy the things. There's stuff that I still like about myself. Like, I'm never gonna be a kind of guy that plays aggressively in Call of Duty. It's just not my play style. It's not how I enjoy doing things. I like to play games a certain way. I do. Like, even like in other games. Like, oh man, I went on this binge where I played Operation Raccoon City forever. Man, my buddy Magmar played with me. And I always loved the field scientist. And Magmar knew I liked the field scientist because he never complained when I played that character. But I love the idea that I can control enemies and I can help take out the hard enemies. You know, and it's like, boom, oh, I just took the challenge away from us, Magmar. And it made me feel good that I used my brain instead of just raw reflexes. I guess that's why I enjoyed games like Final Fantasy and, you know, Fallout. I mean, Fallout's a shooter game, but it's more along the lines of how can we do this the best way possible, and I really like that. I think that's what drew me to StarCraft when I was a kid. But StarCraft has a lot of Twitch in it as well, and a lot of micromanagement, managing your units, moving them in battle, moving them back, and stuff like that. And once I got to that level, I didn't enjoy it as much. And I think competitive, everybody has a level cap on what they consider in competitive to the point it just isn't fun. And I think you don't have to be, you know, Impact or Epsilon, or you don't have to be Optic or the Green Wall. I feel like all you need to do is hit that point where you've challenged yourself to the point where if you go any further, you stop enjoying the game, and that's where you should stop playing. Well, it's been your boy Wings of Redemption. Thank you for watching my video, and leave me a comment. Thank you guys. Peace.